glasses of water. I mean, you just jumped from
Thank you.
you just jumped from almost 2 hours of facilitating.
Yes. Just give me a few minutes.
Yeah,
This is
great.
5:51 Lagos time. We'll start at 6. So that's 9 minutes time. Hoping everybody joins in at that time. Let me send a reminder. And it will be a short class. So we won't take more than 45 minutes. So please just stay tuned. Trust it was a wonderful time we had with the live questions. I sure did enjoy it. So please, if you do have any further questions, you can always reach out to us. All right. So for today, today is the third day in Teenpreneur class, and today I will be taking the science of money as I promised you guys. I promise you that it will be a short class. It could have actually been a longer class, but forgive me, I've been doing a lot of talking, and the part about it is also that I want to break it into small pieces that will be easier for us to understand. And so, if you have any questions, as usual, please do send your questions. I will try to break it down to the fundamentals. It's always easier when you understand the fundamentals. That's from the foundation, the little bits that you build up, like the red bricks. If you play with bricks, that what do you call it now? Lego. So you build it up gradually into a whole part. So that's the way I want to treat it. So ideally, this kind of topic should be a very long one that you treat in several classes. But today I want to deal with the foundation of finance for business. I've seen a lot of people ask questions about how do I get capital? I have this idea. The biggest challenge I have is capital. On our game yesterday night as well, that was one of the trick questions. I'm sure a lot of people did not get that correct. If I can remember the question, it asked, money is not, or is it money is the most valuable asset in business? Most people will jump at it and say yes. But today, that's part of what we'll be answering. That is money really the most valuable asset in business? What is actually the most valuable asset? So I'm treating it from the foundation. I won't go into a lot of other technical aspects because I want to deal with this foundational part, which I believe is very important
Hi, Pastor Ayo, you're muted.
Okay, I'm back now. Thank you, everyone. Sorry about that. Um, in just a second, we'll be in. Okay, I'm fully back. Yep, let's go ahead. I'll still keep within the time. Let's do this. Sorry about that break in the transmission. All right, so the as usual, just reiterating this so that the ground rules are like us doing this so that we remember the privacy concerns. If you don't want to show your video, you don't have to. But I'd like to see your faces if you want to. We're discussing ethical and law-abiding businesses. Let it be interactive. Send your questions and comments. Let's keep it within the discussion. But if you have anything interesting, do let us know and be respectful and tolerant of everyone. Please, I'll throw up a question as we go ahead, but I would like you guys to answer. Please do respond. Um, we've done the beginner introduction. We've discussed how to spot business ideas and opportunities. We've discussed how you can execute by doing a business plan, doing a feasibility study. Your feasibility study determines whether your business can make money, and the business plan will show how you will make money. And during the week, just look out for that. I'll be dropping a lot of information this week, starting from this very night, because we have an assignment for a possible prize to win. So please do look out for that, because we'll be doing some of those. All of what we are learning, we'll be putting it together in a presentation format, and everyone will be sending that. So please look out for that, so that you can put in your responses and potentially win the prize. Today we'll be dealing about the science of money, which is cash flow, financial plan, record keeping, and all of the basis for that. Next week, we'll do selling like a pro. So today, the science of money. So when you hear money, what do you think about? For a business, what is your understanding? I like starting from the very foundation. They say money is the lifeblood of any business. So what does that mean? Look at this picture, for example. The way plants, one of the biggest things that is consistent in living organisms, including ourselves, plants. For us, for example, as human beings, they tell you that you are made up of 70% water. So your body, your bones, your internal organs, your skin, all of it, when it is actually broken down, it is made up of 70% water. Same for plants. There's a lot of water that they take in, and this is using this to depict a business that the blood of a business is cash, is money. Everybody knows that money is critical. But the interesting thing is that money is not the most important asset. I'm sure you guys will be shocked, but if you've been listening to me from the first week, you will have gotten a perspective or you already have some ideas about it. Money is very important. It's even like the blood for a human being. Our body, I can't remember now, maybe it's about 10 pints of blood it contains. Once you lose about 4 pints, you start getting into the very dangerous zone. It's the same way for a business. When a business doesn't have cash flow, that is very challenging. A lot of you have ideas. You're thinking, I want to implement this. I just need this opportunity. I just need somebody to support me. But I don't have anybody. And Uncle Ayo is saying that money is not the most important asset. So what is it? Behind every venture, every activity. So think about it. Think about your business. You want to start your business. I've told you, do a business plan, do a feasibility study, study your market, understand what you want to go into, do analysis, acquire information. You've not even started. Let's assume you do all of this plus the assignments I'm saying you should do. You start off the plan, you get money, you buy goods. If it's, for example, you want to trade, or maybe, for example, you're a graphic artist, you build your website, you get on Instagram, you build your page, you're sending information, and you start gradually getting briefs, which is people are calling you to help them do a website or design a YouTube page or help them build content, and they are paying you for that service. Behind everything that you do as a business person, are people, is human beings. Think about it. Even behind robots, what is behind a robot is a programmable language or an algorithm. Who puts that into place? There's a human being that wrote that language. There's a human being that is doing an error check, that is fixing it. There's a human being that is, what do you want to say? That when you need to replace the robot, even to order a replacement, there's a human being behind it. Yes, I can imagine you can set everything as a code, but behind everything is your human being. So people are very foundational to your business, which is why, remember what we said, knowing how to interact with people, knowing the right type of people you engage with, the people that you bring into your business as partners, as vendors. Vendors are the people that supply you. So, for example, if you are trading clothes or cosmetics, where you go to buy from and they supply you is your vendor. The people you employ in your business. So even your parents, when you get their support. So for example, if you are living in Lagos and this part, you might have, your parents might have a car and a driver, and you are using that car and driver to help you deliver what you produce. That person is acting like your employee. That person is important. So behind everything are people. We are still talking about money. I'm not losing you guys. This is still about money. The foundation, remember, as I said, money is the lifeblood, blood of a business. But behind every activity of a business, there are people that will drive the activity to create money. And one very, very, very important thing you should never forget is this: you are the most important factor. You are the most important factor in this equation. We are dealing with money, but we are tying it all together. You are the most important factor in this equation. And why is that? Why are you very critical? Why are you important? You must learn to see yourself and your business separately. So you are thinking of an idea that you are creating to become a business. This business eventually, based on all the lessons you're learning here, will be able to run separately from you. So at a point in time, when you build your business big enough that you hired managers and employees, you can take an holiday to Honolulu or to South Africa or to where do you think, the Caribbean beaches, and go and relax with your friends, because your business has now become like a living organism that can live without you. And the reason this is very fundamental when you're thinking about business is always think about how you create it to be able to live and rely without you. You know, the same way let's look at computer games or almost anything, almost any electronics. There's an instruction that has been programmed into that electronics. Think about a washing machine, for example. You want to wash some laundry. You load up the laundry, you select some buttons, and you instruct it to start. You can even go out and come back, and it runs through the process from start to finish. Why does it do that? Because there's a programmable language, there's a computer language, there's an algorithm that the manufacturer has created, and it makes it to run that process without you being there. That's the way you need to think about your business. It might not happen immediately, but when you design your business gradually to be able to do that, you are creating sustainable businesses. I just put that out there first of all because that's actually part of the important strategy for operational management. But why did I say you are the most important factor when we are dealing with the science of money? You might think about it because you are the one that controls spending, you are the one that will look for cash. Yes, because you are the founder, you are the starter, or you are the manager of the business. Yes, all of those are still part of what we are discussing and they are important. But why? I will respond to that in a second. But what I will put you guys back to is where I like to start from. What is the foundation of money? What is the definition of money? And there's a reason I'm doing this because when you understand this as a foundation, it helps you not just about your business, because eventually, let's think about it, you might actually build a very big business and eventually want to sell the business. The same way, like the example I've been using for a couple of weeks, the guys that sold Instagram to Facebook, they built something, it became attractive to Facebook, and they sold it to Facebook. So you might build something like that, and you're done. You want to go to rest, and you can sell it. But why will that idea, starting from this very little idea, become the big cash? Let's look at the history of money. I'm sure a couple of you guys that have done business studies, economics, accounting, you might have come across this. But for those that are not aware, and for other people, let me explain it so that it helps you. And I'll draw the lesson very, very soon, and you will see the connection. So that when you're thinking about, I need to raise capital, I need to get cash, you will understand what you are actually looking for and how to get it. So let's think about this. They told us that many years ago, the way human beings used to exchange, if you want to buy something, when money, if you don't know, is that man created money. So human beings invented money. But where did it come from? There was something that was called trade by barter. And what is trade by barter? You want to buy a new iPhone. You go to the market, you go to an Apple store, and what you used to buy your iPhone, imagine there's no cash, there's no Bitcoin, there's no cryptocurrency. You don't have a card, you don't have cash, you don't have coins. What do? In those days, very many years ago, you ask the attendants in the Apple store, what do you want in place for me getting a new iPhone from you? I don't know, what iPhone do we have now? iPhone X or, sorry, I don't know, I'm not very familiar. But you ask the attendants, what do you have? You have an iPhone. What do you want from me? You start listing all the things you have. I have a black cow. I have a white sheep. I have a multicolored chicken. I have a lovely pig. I have 10 baskets of tomatoes. I have 15 baskets of potatoes. What do you want among this? The person that is at the store, dependent on what his family needs at that point in time, will tell you, okay, I only want half bag of tomatoes and quarter bag of potatoes, and I don't need a full cow, I need half a cow. So what does that create for you? You need to start looking for who needs another half part of a cow and the other half of a potato, and you need to get all those people just to be able to buy an iPhone. And what happened? People started thinking about how do we make this more efficient, about exchanging something that everybody sees that is valuable, so that it makes it easier for us to exchange. And that's when they went into precious metals like gold. After a while, they found out that gold was scarce because not everybody can have gold. I want to buy so many things, but gold is not in excess supply. So they started creating things that look like gold. So that is metal coins that they created. In some places, they use cowries, shells, different things to represent money. Then after a while, they thought about it that we don't actually need metal. We can actually just do a written form, because you know what happened was that the people that owned gold is very heavy. It's not easy to carry about. Imagine that you wanted to go and import a very large consignment from China, and they now tell you that for these 10 containers that you want to import, we need half a container of gold. So for you to buy all these goods, you need to send one container to China to get all those goods. So what the people do, they invented that, okay, I'll deposit my gold with a bank that people trust, and that bank will give me a receipt. Is that receipt I will now take to my supplier in China, and because that supplier trusts the bank or the goldsmith that wrote it, because the receipt is saying that this person owns this gold, this amount of gold. So if you present the receipt, I can trust that he has enough wealth to buy it. And so that person will take the receipt there. And after a while, they started passing this receipt from place to place. It became cumbersome. And that's where paper money came from, to represent the value of the wealth the person has. So I hope you guys are getting it. Paper money is not wealth. It represents a value. And when you translate it to plastic cards, just look at the bank cards you have, your debit card. When you step back to really look at it, it is just plastic, maybe with a chip, yes, with a magnetic stripe. But the reality is that it's just representative. It is not your wealth. It is not your true value. And you translate that to electronic money, for example. In some places, you don't even need to carry a card anymore. You just buy goods by swiping, by a barcode on your phone. That's electronic money. And in some places, it has even gone cryptocurrency into like Bitcoins. But what is the basis of all of these things I'm telling you? Remember where we started from. People had goats, sheep, cows, potatoes, and that was what represented their wealth, something tangible. And that is the reality and the truth about money, about wealth, about finance. The true capital or money you have is what value do you have? What value are you creating? What value are you bringing to the table? That is in reality the actual cash. If you are thinking about it that way, I want you to separate it from the physical representation. The reality is that value is, or wealth is in the value you have, not in the physical representation of cash. And when you understand this, this will help you to understand why there are different, why, for example, different countries have different wealth, or human beings have wealth that are different. Yes, you might think about it in different things. Some people have privilege or stuff like that. A business has a better advantage. He had the support from his parents. I didn't get the support. His friends are buying, they are not buying from me. But the basic and the most fundamental thing, remember, is that what is the value? What do you have? What value are you creating? What value are you giving? Are you producing? That is where fundamentally money exists. And once you get that picture, you get this. Money follows value. Cash follows value. Create value, communicate value, sell value. So think about all the businesses you can think about. Apple. Why is Apple that successful? Why? I hope you guys knew last week they became the first company to be valued at $2 trillion. $2 trillion, United States dollars. Why are they that successful? Because they are creating and they are selling and communicating a value that everybody can identify with. Almost everybody would love to have the latest iPhone. Not just because it's a status object, but because functionally it delivers some solutions to you. It gives you so much that you can do on your phone. Your entire school can be done on your phone. You don't need to go anywhere. You can join your classes on your phone. You can do your assignments on your phone. You can call somebody on your phone. You can attend class on your phone. How much more? So you can transact business from your phone. So just holding one phone, you can do everything you need to do. That is why Apple is that valuable. Because when they can do that, they can do all of those services by just one device and now sell it to so many people. They can command a value or a price for it. So the true wealth of Apple is not in the cash. Hope you guys are seeing. Is in the solution they are providing. Is in the help they are giving to people that own that device. Think about it. I'm sure most of you guys have smartphones, or even if you don't have, you use your parent's smartphone or your brother or someone close to you. I don't know whether you've experienced using the lower versions of the phone or a non-smartphone. Think about it. What an iPhone can do versus what a non-smartphone can do. I wish I remembered I would have brought that example to you. A non-smartphone, the only thing it can do is text message and receive calls. That's all. Imagine, I know you guys cannot imagine having a phone that you cannot connect to the internet. You can't use Instagram on it. You can't Google. You can't do a Zoom call. All you're doing is text message and call. No smileys in your text message. You can't chat. You can't do WhatsApp on the phone. How much will you value that phone compared to an iPhone? An iPhone probably is going for about $1,000. I'm sure even if they want to give you that phone for free, some of you will not collect it. Why? It is not giving value. That is the simple fact behind capital, behind wealth, behind cash flow. Once you understand that for your business, you must always think value. Value. What am I giving? Remember, that is why I tell you guys that it's not so much of what you want to give, but what do people want? What do they need? That is the way you get exponentially successful in business. Always chase what do my customers want, because money follows value. I hope you guys get that. So if you have that understanding, let me see this. Yeah, my first one was a brick, David. Yeah, true. Mayowa, a brick. Yep. Imagine those kind of phones now. Yeah, you just add them, just probably should just be able to call your friends, but they could do almost nothing else. So think about it. When you are saying you are doing a business or offering a service, thank you, Mayo and David, for that. Are you giving your customers a brick or an iPhone? Think about it. Always think about that. What are you giving your customers? A brick or an iPhone? Because that determines how much you can charge for the service, who you can sell it to. And look, guys, it's not necessarily that a brick is bad. The only thing is that who are you selling it to? And do they have the resources to make you successful? So if you take a brick, for example, and you go to the countryside or to a village where they are not as wealthy, and all they are interested in is in the basics and they're satisfied, that is fine. But then that means that you can't sell it to too many people. Or even if you sell it to too many people, probably you're going to sell the brick phone for $50. Meanwhile, an iPhone is $1,000. So how many brick phones do you have to sell to get equivalent of an iPhone? That means you have to sell 20 brick phones to get an equivalent. So that's the difference. And that's like making you guys to understand that, look, why and how did iPhone become wealthy? They could have decided to do a brick phone using you guys' words. But how many people could they have sold it to? But they decided to do an iPhone, $1,000 sold to about 1 million people. And you start understanding their wealth. So one of the things that you start understanding in business as well is that you can either decide to do something cheap and sell it to a lot of people, or do something very expensive and sell it to few people. But that decision depends on what that product or that service is and the people that can afford it, right? Hope you guys got that. And send me if you have any comments. So let me think about this. I think I have a question for you guys. I have a question for you. And this will help you for most of the guys that ask, I want to raise capital. And I wish somebody would be brave enough to comment on this because I want to hear somebody else's voice apart from myself. Which brand do you trust better and why? Toyota Motors or Innoson Motors? Which brand do you guys trust better? Is there anybody that would like to volunteer and just give us a perspective? Any volunteers? Which brand do you trust?
Uncle Ayo,
Yes,
please,
please.
some of us on this call may not know Innocent Motors. Can you explain what company it is and a bit of context?
It's part of the question.
Are you really?
Yeah, it's actually part of the question. Yeah. It's actually part of the question. Deliberately, I use that. I know a lot of people. I know you might never have heard about it. So please respond. Who do you trust better and why? It's actually, your response is all part of it. So it wasn't a mistake I used it. That's why I didn't use Toyota or BMW.
There are some comments on the chat box.
Okay, so David says, I'm in the UK and I've never heard of Innocent Motors. Fikayo, I choose Toyota because that is all I know. Samilore, Toyota because I don't know the other one. Any other person? Does anybody know Innocent? Okay, Puzel, thank you. Toyota has been around for a long time, years even, and they have more experience in business. Very interesting perspective. You guys remember all these comments, because you are actually responding to the issue around raising capital in business, around making money in business. Innocent is made in Nigeria. Same, Toyota is well known. Never heard of Innocent Motors. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I love your comments. And remember those comments. Don't forget them. As I tell you, send your comments because we learn from each other. And it will even help you in case you have an idea that you might need to correct. Okay, so I prefer Toyota too. Toyota because I have no idea about Innocent Motors. Thank you, love it. All right. I remember I deliberately use extremes because I didn't want you guys to get confused about it. And why did I do that? Because part of the what creates wealth and makes a business successful, and you guys understand, I'm sure you understand it, is how well do people know and trust your business? So you guys think about it. I'm sure you might have an idea, although you might not have full knowledge about it. You know about shares, you know about equity, Imagine somebody told you that, look, Innoson wants to borrow money from you. Innoson Motors, they are making a super car, a powerful car, the best in the world. It will beat Lamborghini, Bugatti, I hope I'm correct. What else? Porsche, all those wonderful cars. They are making this car. Look, forget it. Just invest $1,000, and in 2 years' time, they are going to give you $1,000,000. Who will you trust better, Toyota or Innoson? I'm sure it's Toyota, even though Innoson might be saying the truth. Why? Because of a track record. You guys have said it. Toyota is more experienced. Innoson is just coming up. So what are all those things that you guys are saying without understanding is this? Track record is critical. Why do we do that? Because if you've gone through business, you will learn some experience. There are certain things you'll have understood how to do. One of the things, for example, in business is that you will learn as you go along that there's what is called business cycle and economic cycle. So there's business cycle. What is business cycle? Business cycle is, for example, let's take the guys. Remember the guys, I used that example earlier, but let me look for another one that will help you guys. You guys know all around about the festive season, when there's Santa Claus. I'm sure a couple of you have grown that, or you're still there. And all of those seasonal businesses that happen towards the end of the year. What happens during the beginning of the year towards the end? They continue to produce. They continue to produce, they manufacture, they source their raw materials, they put it together, they manufacture, they put it in the warehouse, waiting for September, when the people that will trade will buy from them so that they can trade it from October to December. Now, that cycle is saying that there's a production time, there's a raw material sourcing time, there's production, there's supply, and final delivery to the consumer. So that's a business cycle. And throughout that cycle is also a cash cycle, because when they are going into the raw material, they are going to buy, so cash is going out. They won't get that cash that has gone out until they transform it to a product. So for example, you need a new sneakers, and your parents have promised you that you'll get it in December. Do you think the guys that produce sneakers, do you think it's in December they produce the sneakers? No, they produce it probably maybe even February of that year. And what have they done? They've put their cash into that production, but they will get money back from you in December. And that is a business cycle. But an economic cycle makes up several of those business cycles. So an economic cycle shows the combination of all businesses working together to produce what in economics is, you get a depression. So that is when all businesses are going into a challenge at the same time. Then a boom, that is when there's a lot of money to spend. So you have to get this combination. And part of why you trust Toyota is because they've gone through this cycle several times that they can predict. Innoson has not gone through it. So even if they have the best of intentions, they don't have the experience to cope with new challenges. So because of that, you don't trust them enough. And that is exactly the same challenge you have for everybody that is just starting a business. That is the same challenge you will face. The challenge is that people may not know you enough to trust you. It's not because you don't have good intentions, or you might even know how to do it, but the challenge is that they don't know you enough to trust you. There's no track record, or there's no enough track record. You yourself, you don't know yourself enough because you've not faced certain things that will test your knowledge. And that is important. So that starts giving you the perspective of where you can get capital from the beginning when you are starting off your business. I'll be rounding up in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Sorry, Uncle Ayo.
Yes, please.
Yeah, there are three interesting comments that just came in not too long ago. One from Kuse, talking about supporting homegrown companies. And then Tamilore and Lovett is talking about giving homegrown companies a chance. I think that's part of how people also think sometimes when they want to choose which company they want to invest in. So could you speak to that?
Okay, definitely I will speak to that. Very interesting comments. Thank you, Kuzel. And I'll bring it home and wait for me. I was going to talk about how to raise capital, especially when you are just starting off, so that you understand, because one of the things that always come up, and guys, it's not just teenagers that have this challenge, even adults that are starting businesses, they come and say, and this doesn't just happen in Nigeria or Africa or the UK or US or Canada, it happens everywhere, that it's tough to raise capital. But fundamentally is on that basis that I explained to you guys. Number one, are you creating value? Number two, do people understand that value? Do they know you enough? Right? So that's the critical thing. Kuzel has raised an important point. Kuzel, do you want to contribute? I see you raised your hand. I think is in mute. Will you like to contribute? I'm not sure. Can I unmute you? This thing is not. Fidelia, please, can you help? I'm trying to unmute Kuzel, but I think cannot. Okay, I think I've achieved that. Kuzel, were you trying to say something?
Okay, no, sorry, it was a mistake actually.
Okay, no problem then. All right, thanks for the contribution. Anyway, yes, you're spot on. Part of what, so as a country, part of what the government does is to try to support homegrown businesses, because, and you guys will come, I'll talk about this, is that there's a natural bias that we as human beings have to just look closer to home, to what you know. So the same way you guys have talked about Toyota Motors, because Toyota is a global brand. Now, there are certain local businesses in every country that are wonderful businesses, but they are only known in those countries. You know the truth, it's always easier for them to raise capital within where they are, because it's only those people that know them. And so that is part of what happens in government, is that sometimes also, and I'll bring this up in very few seconds, where you can raise capital from is from when you see that government is supporting a particular area. So for example, in Nigeria right now, the government is very focused on agriculture. They want Nigeria to be self-sustaining. In Europe, the UK, European governments, they are trying to compete with Silicon Valley in the United States. So they are doing a lot of support for tech-based businesses. In the US, you guys will have heard about Trump fighting China over the farmers, over steel industry, over tech. If you read the news, you heard him talking about the Americans will be banned from using TikTok. I hope you guys heard about that. All of that is protecting the companies within the country. So sometimes when you work within those policies are also how you get the benefit of getting government support. And sometimes they also give funds to those kind of businesses. So I've just explained why sometimes when you are just starting off, it can be difficult to raise capital because people don't know you, they don't understand it, what you're trying to do. They are not sure what you said is value, is actually value. And that is part of the reason you might have a challenge raising capital from the beginning. So when you have that challenge, what do? Remember all of the things I've said. Human beings have a natural bias of what they know. So what you now start with is, who knows me? Who trusts me? I hope you guys are understanding this secret, because when you understand that secret, it's easier for you to find the solution. You won't just walk up to anybody and say, no, people are not helping me. It's because when you're starting off, we cannot see your art. You are the one that sees the big dream. You are the one that sees the idea. And when I'm telling you guys that, look, it's not because you are teenagers. Trust me, I work in a bank, and this is part of what we do every time. Even big businesses that have done, imagine, I won't name any business, but imagine a global business. Yeah, I can actually name, like Nestle. Nestle is into food products. I'm sure you guys know about Nestle. I think their headquarters is in the Switzerland, and they have operations almost all around the world. They have been in the food business for decades, I think almost even a century. And if they say they are going into any food business, we will trust them. They've done from beverages into cereals, into instant food. We will trust them. If Nestle says tomorrow we want to start a restaurant, we might think about it. Okay, you do food, but restaurant business is slightly different, but we'll trust you, it's not too different. But if Nestle comes tomorrow and says, we want to go into oil and gas production, engineering, trust me, we'll say, wait, oh, stop a minute. Yes, we trust you. You've been around forever, but do you understand that business? Is that same question that we ask even for a trusted brand, because they are going into something new. So that's the same challenge you have when you're starting a business. People don't know, and they don't know whether they can trust you. So you have to see that money follows value. Because we cannot see your art, we value what we see. Now I'm talking collectively on the behalf of people that will give you money for your business. Your character, your reputation. Trust me, all these things are important. So it's not just a church or ethical people that says it. Your character, your reputation, your competence. Remember where we started from, when we were saying the foundation. Your knowledge, your skills to be able to deliver on what you said. How much do you know about that business? All of this together puts into that brand value. Remember again, Toyota versus Innocent. Apply all of these things to all of them. It's because you've trusted Toyota, they've delivered on their promise for a long time. They have a reputation and a brand to protect. You know they have the competence. Their factories are powered by robots. They've delivered consistently. That makes them valuable. But you can't say the same for Innocent, and that is why you don't value them as much. I hope you guys get that. So that's the basis and the fundamental behind capital. And when you understand that, you start saying it that. So how, if you want to raise financing, you are doing a startup, is a new business, you have a new business idea, is a cosmetic shop, or you want to be doing gaming, or you want to help people be creating content on YouTube or Instagram, and you need to buy a computer to do that. You need to buy a phone. You need to be able to subscribe to the internet, subscribe to Canva, do all of those various things. Who will trust you with the initial capital? Remember what I said, is the people that know you first and trust you. So I give you guys a secret. That is why you have to be good, a good person that people can trust. That is why you have to be dependable. In little things, that is why they should be able to say, yes, I trust If I tell Ayo to go and get me something, and I tell him, please, I need this thing within 2 hours, I trust he will deliver. Even though he might be doing something else, he will tell me, okay, sorry, I can't go at this time. I'll go at this time. And when he said he will go and come back. When people gradually trust you that way, they can also trust you by giving you money. So starting up, think about all the people around you, your parents. We call them angel investors because they are just angels. They want to help you because they know you, or they have a bias to help you. Your parents, your friends, your family members, uncle, aunts, cousins, people close to you, and that's why you should develop relationships. As you gradually grow, there's what we call venture capital. They invest in startup businesses that have already started and running for a while. Remember what I said about the government grants. So sometimes the government wants to support businesses that are homegrown. So sometimes you can get money from them as well. And as you grow more, there's what we call private equity funds. They also support businesses. They invest in your equity, and that's they come and be part owners of the business. Or banks, once you start having a track record, they can lend money and you repay back over a while. Then when it becomes a very mature business, that's when you can go to the stock market like Apple did. Raise shares from people all over the world. They are part owners. Banks support you more, and that is how you get capital. So you see that fundamental in cash, in finance, in wealth, in becoming a valuable business is in the value you are giving and in the trust you have. So this is very fundamental. Most of all of the technical issues that will come afterwards, and I will just run through this very quickly. All the technical issues that we business people like talking about, accounting, raising funds, what else? Cash flow. When you understand that fundamental, all of these other things are processes you can gradually learn, but you must understand the fundamental. So what are some other points that you need to know? As I said, I can't cover everything in this class because it's short. I'll drop tidbits as we go along during the week, and I'll tell you guys what the assignment is. Some of the principles in business that you have to do. I'm not sure I put it here, but this is very critical. Remember, I said trust and track record. What shows that very critically is the records you keep as a business. So you spend money, every dime you spend, record it. Every inflow you get, every sales, record it. Accounting, that is what accounting is. It is what everybody will ask you, what have you done? And when you show that kind of record, they can trust you. So that is very critical in business. So what are some other principles that you need to know? Don't spend everything you have. As a business, you must learn to manage your resources. Keep some cash on time. Chase after your money. When you sell to your friends, your parents. Chase after them. Don't let them rest. Because let me tell you guys something else. One of the ways you get financing is what we call spontaneous finance. That is other people's money. Let me explain. So assuming you want to sell cosmetics, or you're selling garments. If people trust you, you can go and collect a batch. Let's assume you go to collect a batch of hoodies, about 100 hoodies without paying a dime. And you tell the person, after I have sold it, I'll bring you back the cash. You know what that person has given to you? That person has given you capital without actually giving you cash. Because what you will have used cash to buy, that person has given you as goods. And you can collect it on credit, go and sell, and come back and give the person cash. So it's the same way for you as well. When you sell to people and you don't collect your cash, they are using your capital. So you must learn to chase after your capital. I've talked about separating yourself from your business. Separate your business money from your personal money. Control your costs. I will tell you guys another secret. Don't pay for anything except you must pay for it. So first of all, try to get it for free. For example, I'll give you guys a tip. Remember the game we did yesterday, Kahoot? There's the paid version, there's the free version. I use the free version, the trial version, and it works out very well. I might have to subscribe for it, but at least we used it yesterday and we enjoyed the game for free. Don't pay for anything you can get for free. If you can borrow it, like I explained for getting the goods from your supplier, get it and pay the person back after a while. Only use your business cash if you must do it. Finally, protect your business. There are lots of points on that, but because of time, I won't be able to work on that. So the final point I will tell you guys are this forms the assignments we have been given as a group. And individually, we are going to work on it. I'll give you guys a guideline. I'll do one for myself. I'm creating a business, a barbering salon called Alpha Dragon Barbering Salon. And I'll do a little business plan, feasibility study, as if I'm a student and I'm starting this up. And for each of you guys, I want you guys to do the same thing. Work on that and submit it to me. Potentially, I would love to have it, if possible, by Tuesday, if not by Wednesday, so that I can give you your comments back. What will happen is on Thursday evening, I will love those that are willing to present. The best presenters, the best people will win a prize. And trust me, I redeem my pledges. So I'll send more of this on the group chat so that you can get the instruction, get how you will be able to do this and win prizes. So on that Thursday, I hope that will be fine for everybody. 7 p.m. Lagos time on Thursday. You do a very mini presentation. I'll show you how you do that presentation. And for the person that is willing, I can also, that will also give me an opportunity to give you an advice for the business ideas you actually have, and also show you how you pitch to raise capital from the different people I've spoken about. So let me see, is there?
Yeah, there's an important question. What does it mean to build a cash reserve? I think you touched on it a bit now.
Yeah. Okay, very important question, Tamilore. Thanks for that. What does it mean to build a cash reserve? So the simple word is savings. So for you as a person, they will call it savings. But for a business, remember I said, you must always think your business as a separate person from you. So it's called cash reserve. And what is the purpose of that? Why do you save as a person? We say in balance, you save for the raining day. So you are saving for what you don't know might happen. So assuming that something suddenly happens, an example I can use in Nigeria is, assuming you are attending a Nigerian university, a lecturer can tell you guys that you guys must do a project and submit within the next 24 hours. Now imagine that your parents have traveled for holidays and they've told you we will only be reachable at certain time, and maybe it's 10 hours away, but you need to start that project. What will you do? If you can't borrow from your friends, it's only from the savings you have that you can use. It's the same way for a business. You save some of your capital, some of your cash, because situations can occur that you did not anticipate. And the right amount you save depends on your understanding of that business. I hope that explains it, right? So for example, let me give you, remember the guys I said that are selling goods in December, that are traders, that they supply maybe sneakers in December. Let's assume that they've made their orders in October and they've paid with all of the cash they have. Then suddenly, at the end of November, Will Smith, I love Will Smith, I love his movies, I'm one of his great fans. Will Smith introduces a crazy type of sneakers that becomes the rave of the season, and everybody wants to buy that sneaker. Now, that business person has spent all his cash. Where will he get money from to be able to go to quickly buy those sneakers from Will Smith to sell? You might want to go and borrow from the bank, but the bank will always ask, how much do you have so that we can support you? You can't say, sorry, I don't have any cash. That is part of why you save as a business. You have reserves because so that you can respond either to opportunities or threats. So you need to build it gradually as you go along the line. I hope that explains it. All right, so are there any other questions? Please send your questions. Remember to fill the feedback form. I hope you guys understand it. Okay, Tamilora, you said SWOT. So what is SWOT? I guess you understand. Yeah, strengths, that's your strengths as a business. Perhaps you guys know how to, you are very good in customer care, you know how to speak to people. So that can be a strength. What might be your weakness? Maybe you're not good in keeping records. That can be a weakness. What are the opportunities? Remember what I explained about Will Smith just releasing a new set of sneakers. That can be opportunity. Or you are selling in Nigeria and suddenly you see that Cameroon doesn't have, or you are based in France and you can get into UK to do the same thing. Those are opportunities. Threats are usually other people coming into your business to do the same thing you are doing and steal your customers, or the government introducing a policy that doesn't work in your favor. For example, they can say that Will Smith is not a real American. Because of that, we are not buying anything from America. Sorry, I'm using a crazy idea, I know. Or we just say, yes, UK, US, we are no longer friends because of Donald Trump. He's fighting us, we are fighting him. So businesses, you cannot import from US anymore. So those are threats as well. And remember what I said, information. You always have to know, because if you don't know, you might not be able to respond to all of these factors. And that is it. There are a lot of other things to learn on capital and finance. There's financial plan. It's just a plan. So based on all the things I've explained, and once you understand business plan, that's the plan for the future, how you make money. Financial plan is actually now tracking the money. How much are you spending versus how much you are receiving? There's also what is called budget. Budget is a 1-year plan of your business finances. Those are simple terms. You can Google and learn more of them, but I will also be available. I'll be dropping some of those tidbits and we will continue the conversation. So, do we have any other questions? Any other comments? I trust you guys enjoy the class. Can I start a laundry business at the age of 14? Definitely you can, Tamilore. Definitely you can. I see opportunities there. Those are some of the easy businesses in quotes, I would say. But what I will ask you is all of the things that we've learned, where is the opportunity? Who do you want to be your customers? Who is currently serving them? What will you do differently so that they leave the people that are currently giving them that service and come to you, right? So you can do it, but what I will always ask you guys is that what information you have, what information do you have? You have to respond to all of those information. Do a feasibility study. That is what is saying that how can I make money in this? Can I make money? Then you do a plan. I'm available to support you guys through this process and help you through it. Yeah, you're saying my neighbors because they don't have people washing for them. That is good. That's a good place to start. If you are just doing it for your neighbors, are you going to be using your washing machine at home? Again, remember what I said. That can be capital. Your parents have already bought a washing machine at home that there's nothing nobody's using. So you can use your own washing machine and help them doing that. And that is your parents' capital you are using for your business. So Thanks to everybody for joining the class. Please remember to complete the feedback form. We like to get your feedback so we know what we are doing good, we know what we need to improve, and you get the best from us. I enjoyed teaching. I hope you guys enjoyed listening, and we will catch up on WhatsApp. Please, can we resend the link? I think it's been asked. Please do the feedback right away. Don't say you do it later. It's very short. Please, if you can do it, we will appreciate you. Please do it right away, right now. It takes just about 10 seconds. Thank you, everybody, for joining today's class. Thank you for listening. I'll look forward to catching up with you, and look out for the assignments and further instruction. Thank you so much and have fun. Thank you.